Protect yourself at all times. Keep your punches up. Both trunks are good. Touch your gloves. Let's get after it.
Most of the wins for Fernandez, Joe, have come in Utah. Losses have come when he has fought outside of that state. Wins have been with soft competition.
Scheduled for 6, we have Gerald Ritter as the referee. We saw Gary Ritter's twin brother in our opening bout.
If it's not a tough enough spot for Fernandez coming in here, having lost 3 of his last 5, he's also taken this fight on 5 days' notice.
Doubles up that jab, but you see the hand speed edge with Brewer.
Brewer, not a puncher, you just said it. Fast hands. But he might be able to look like a puncher tonight against a guy who's been knocked out 5 times.
Fast hands is scoring a 3-punch combination. There's a left hook as they separated on the inside.
Brewer's doing a good job of understanding what he is. A tall guy on the outside, now he takes it inside, but he doesn't stay in the middle. He gets his head on the side, gets a little bit small, doesn't make himself a target. But for the most part, setting up on the outside, using those long arms. Again, if you're Brewer, you want to be on the outside, use that jab, use that stick, and make Fernandez earn real estate.
He's got speed, he's got height, he has the advantage there.
But he's got to be careful of Brewer. I saw a moment ago, he throws that uppercut like he did right there, and he leaves himself open. He drops the hand to throw that uppercut from a little too far away, and he leaves a window where not a cold breeze can come in, but a right hand or left hook can get in there.
Fernandez tried to quickly fill that opportunity.
Yeah, Brewer better be careful with that uppercut from too far away. Again, leaves a good opportunity for Fernandez or for anybody.
There's that right uppercut. Also landed the left hook against Fernandez. Fernandez goes back to the inside. 3-punch combination from Brewer.
Well, what I like about Brewer is, for the most part, he'll try to stay on the outside, but when he goes inside, he knows how to shorten up those long arms. You know, it's not a detriment for Brewer to be inside. A lot of guys with long arms, they need room to punch. They can't do it inside. Seems like Brewer has pretty good understanding of how to shorten up those punches.
Fernandez did score a couple times with the left hand in this final minute of this opening round. Scheduled for 6. Saku Powell and DeAndre Lattimore, the rematch coming up in our main event.
I think someone's going to have to remind Fernandez in the corner that, yeah, you have a tall guy in front of you, but there's also a thin body in front of you. Why don't you go down there?
Brewer opened up again moments ago, and Fernandez was able to score. Not a bad looking first round between these two. Fernandez and Brewer coming to the end of round number 1.
Take a look at Brewer. You're going to see it right now, throwing that uppercut, that left uppercut, dropping it, throwing it from too far away. He leaves that gap. And again, as we talked about earlier, the gap gets filled by that left hook of Fernandez.
Prenice Brewer is a 22-year-old hopeful prospect from Cleveland, Ohio. Says he comes from a tough area in Ohio where staying off the streets has been his biggest challenge in life. Says where he comes from, most are either dead or in jail, but he is an emerging pro, started in the gym at age 12, won a National Golden Gloves 5 years ago, now 14-0-1 as a 22-year-old junior welterweight.
Brewer is not as fast, not nearly as accomplished, or I should say Fernandez not as fast, not nearly as accomplished as an amateur. But what he hopes he is a little stronger, trying to get close. Brewer has been a smaller man. First half of his career at lightweight, now up to junior welter. Fernandez has been between junior welter and welterweight throughout his career.
Chris Fernandez, a journeyman from Utah, who at this stage of his career, as you described him, maybe a traveling opponent for superior competition. Devin Alexander, current champion, Paulie Malignaggi, top elite fighter. Both got to him in recent years.
Fernandez has had gaps of inactivity.
Got caught there.
2.5 years almost, and just over 5 years of inactivity in the career of Fernandez.
Didn't fight from February of 01 until April of 06.
And again, you see the speed there of Brewer, and you see it on the inside, shortening up those long arms, but you see a little slapping too. What you don't see is power.
3-punch combination, 2 left hands, brought the right hand, did Brewer.
Again, if there's hope in the mind of Fernandez, and he's been very competitive here, it has to be to get close and to be stronger, physically stronger. And again, I'd be asking the question, Joe, why, as you see those quick combinations of Brewer, why is Fernandez not going downstairs? As I say it, he touches downstairs.
Long, lean body of Brewer. Doubles up that left hand.
Not a puncher, Brewer, but guy who's calm, guy who's technically pretty good, fast hands, and he puts them together.
We'll see what more he can offer.
He gets caught right there.
Caught right at the end here of round 2.
If the punch is the passenger, then the car or the vehicle that sets up that punch is the technique. And you saw the technique right there. You saw Fernandez, the left jab downstairs, sets up the right hand upstairs to Brewer.
And around that, Prenice Brewer seemed to be controlling, but yet turned in those final moments. And there's another right hand that came in from Chris Fernandez, and now he's just pressing the action on the inside. Brewer tries to come back and then hangs on and gets the separation from referee Gerald Ritter.
Customano, one of the great managers and my mentor, used to always say, Teddy, never allow a fighter who's been losing, such as Fernandez, who has lost 3 of his last fight, never allow him to get confidence. A guy like that, oh, he's like a guy in the desert. All of a sudden he sees an oasis and he's going to run to get a drink of water.
Now Fernandez at the end of the second round, you see how he came out here for round number 3. You also saw the CompuBox statistics there, showing you the punch numbers with Brewer in control.
And again, you see the confidence of Fernandez early in this round. But you wonder about the conditioning. I'm saying I see the confidence of Fernandez. What I see also is some of the fatigue now of Fernandez, who took this fight on 5 days' notice. You don't see him inside ripping those punches like he was early.
Fernandez, 12 years the senior to Prenice Brewer. I think that right hand was a good example of when you talk about Brewer not having power and the slapping you see at times.
Not only the slapping, but from a defensive liability standpoint for Brewer, sometimes he'll pull back, stand tall, and like we talk about here a lot, Joe, becomes a very inviting target. When the shorter man gets in with the taller man, the shorter man has the advantage. Because if the taller man doesn't get small, doesn't get his head on the side, again, a lot to hit.
Left, right from Prenice Brewer. Able to stick that jab in there and score as well.
A guy like Brewer has to be really good and consistent technically to have a good career in this business, because he doesn't have the power to keep somebody off him. And you see Fernandez taking advantage of that fact.
Smothering attack from Fernandez. Now the break from Ritter. Final 10 seconds. Remember what Fernandez did at the end of the second round. See what he comes up with here. Joe Tessitore, Teddy Atlas with you at the Choctaw Nation Events Center in Durant, Oklahoma, just over the Red River, about an hour and a half north of Dallas. A swing bout making TV here that's offering us more than we expected. Chris Fernandez and the unbeaten young prospect, 14-0-1 Prenice Brewer. Teddy's scorecard, you see that second round for Fernandez. That's when he landed the big right hand at the end of that round. Fernandez, a journeyman that's had a choppy career, and he's lost when he has stepped up.
Again, you see a little bit of a flaw in the technique there of Brewer. He'll jab and he'll pull back with the left hand still down. The problem with that is he doesn't get back fast enough or far enough off of that jab. And in spots, Fernandez has been able to get in that door. Brewer is a feather duster, but he's a tall one.
There you see just a flurry, but not heavy-handed at all. Good example of exactly what you're talking about. He's able to split the guard that time with the left-right.
If Brewer could, there's only one difference, it's a large one, between Brewer and one of the greats of all time, Bob Foster. Brewer can't break an egg. Small difference.
A little better work rate here in the fourth round from Prenice Brewer.
What Brewer needs to do now is get on the outside, take advantage of that height, use that jab. Again, make Fernandez pay for real estate. And when Fernandez falls in, reaches a little bit, lurches a little bit, do some countering. Just fill those spots.
Not much happening on the inside. As you can see, Brewer with that left hand behind the neck of Fernandez. Now dips that left shoulder.
This is where Fernandez has to make hay. But he waits too long and some shoe shining being done by Brewer. But Fernandez, if he's not going to win on the inside, he's not winning this fight. And he's not going to apply himself on the inside. He can't win there.
Well, this has been the best round so far from Prenice Brewer in terms of controlling things on his terms as he shoe shines, flurries, and then gets caught by a left hook again. As you talked about, sometimes he does have those defensive flaws and creates an opportunity for the opponent.
Yeah, good timing by Fernandez. He waited for the right spot. He couldn't match the speed, but he timed the left hook in the right spot. But I see the mouth of Fernandez opening up again. Took this fight on 5 days' notice. What's in the gas tank?
So 2 rounds to go here between Fernandez and Brewer. The lead up to round number 5 between Chris Fernandez and the young unbeaten Prenice Brewer.
See what Fernandez has left as far as petrol. Because he's going to have to put that foot down to the pedal. You know, Joe, this business is full of all kinds of people. There's some people in this business, quite honestly, they're not the best. And there's great people in this business. And one of the great ones, Lorraine Shargan, who is the wife of one of the great promoters, Don Shargan, in California. She's very sick right now. She's a special woman. She's a woman that most people in this business know. She's a great partner for many, many years to Don. She's always there in the promotions. She's so important to everything that Don's done, and she's been so important to people in this sport and to the sport. They've always treated their fighters right. They've always been known as good people. I would ask all the great fans out there to say a prayer for Lorraine. She's involved in her fight. She's as tough as they come. If anyone can win the fight, she can win it. The prayers would help. Lorraine, we love you. We're thinking about you.
Yeah, she's one half of one of the great teams in boxing through the years. Have promoted so many fights and all over the country, and of course the West Coast and Don Shargan. What he did there, some of the great fights, and she's been with him every step of the way. Halfway through round number 5. I'll tell you another thing about Lorraine, and just noticing what she put out there to the public and people that were concerned from her. She doesn't forget where she comes from. She's from my home in New Haven, Connecticut, Teddy. And she asked if anybody wants to do anything for her, send a donation to a charitable organization back there in New Haven, Connecticut that helps with troubled youths. That was a very classy move by her.
Nothing surprising about that move, no. Because she's a very simple woman, a good woman. And what you see is what you get. There are no airs about Lorraine Shargan. She likes you, she likes you. She doesn't, she'll let you know. And if she doesn't like you, it's probably a damn good reason.
Prenice Brewer here. Now, he's worked off this position before.
So there's the timing, Joe. You know, again, Fernandez, give him some credit here. He's using experience. He knows he can't match speed, so he waits for the right spot, and he found the right spot. Just as Brewer was dropping his hands to throw, maybe about 4 punches into it, Fernandez knew that hand wouldn't be up, and he launched the left hook. Good timing can beat speed.
You really get the sense in watching this 6-rounder that at any point, as much as Fernandez, it's an uphill battle, he's the opponent brought in against the undefeated prospect, anything can happen at any point. We got a round to go. Let's see how it plays out. Because as we said, any moment, who knows what Chris Fernandez can come up with. He has had those moments throughout the first 5 rounds. Now 3 minutes left to see if he can pull off this upset.
I'm going to take a guess. If he does come up with something, he being Fernandez, it's going to be a left hook, because the last couple rounds, he's found a little bit of a niche for it. And again, it's on the inside when Brewer likes to shine a little bit. You know, when he likes to do that shoot shine, drop his hands a little bit, that's where Fernandez has been launching that left hook. Look for the left hook in close, but Brewer, give him credit. He didn't give the landing pad, you know, the airstrip. A plane, if a punch is a plane, it has to have somewhere to land. And right there, Brewer did not give the runway to Fernandez. He got off those ropes, back in the center of the ring, and Fernandez will have trouble negotiating from that place.
Brewer is on the move a little more in the first minute of this final round. You see the CompuBox numbers through 5 rounds, and as expected, Brewer, the more active guy, also the more accurate guy, but the more significant single punches of the night have been landed by the upset-minded 34-year-old Chris Fernandez.
See, Fernandez needs Brewer to stay still in order to be able to get off that punch, because again, he can't match speed, he needs timing. And to get timing, he needs Brewer to be a little stationary. He needs a moment to launch that punch as Brewer is staying there exchanging. Fernandez has to catch Brewer as he punches.
Missed with the uppercut that time, as well as the left hook. Tries to close the gap down, does so with the right hand, and then Brewer gets out the side door. Final minute coming up of this fight.
Again, the same openings have been there every round for Fernandez. The right hand when Brewer pulls back with the left low, doesn't get back fast or far enough, and the left hook in close.
Right lead, almost landed flush for Fernandez.
Look for the left hook in here.
Slipped in a low blow in the mix there. That left hook has scored a few times. See if he can find it here on the inside. Just missed with the uppercut, chasing to the inside. Brewer actually scored, picking him off as Fernandez came forward. Now they separate, half minute to go.
Give Fernandez a lot of credit, and I'll give him credit. I called him an opponent early in this fight. He is not acting at all like an opponent.
No, more of a veteran journeyman who came to win. A spirited effort from Chris Fernandez tonight against Prenice Brewer.
He looks like a veteran Fernandez who's taken advantage of a 22-year-old who has not been tested yet.
Right hand lands from Brewer. They go toe-to-toe in the final moments. Fernandez tried to get in a few forearm shivers there as the bell rang.
Judge Gary Ritter scores the bout 58-56. Judge Ron Hayes scores the bout 59-55. And Judge Don Griffin scores the bout 59-55 for your winner by unanimous decision out of the blue corner, Prenice.
You can hear the mixed reaction from the crowd. Prenice Brewer moves to win number 15 in his career. But give credit to Chris Fernandez. He was very game here on short notice, taking this fight against Brewer.